chicos, bienvenidos y bienvenidas a su clase de inglés. Hello guys, welcome to your English class. Mi nombre es Diana Juárez, soy de la Ceiba, Atlántida. 11th grade, BCH, Inglés IV. Topic, the pronunciation and intonation, September 2020. Let's check your homework. Match the literary text with the correct meaning. Number 1, drama, letter C. It is a kind of story composed in dialogue, not to be read but to be watched because it is acted on stage. Number 2, poetry. A collection of words that express an emotion or idea. And number 3, narrative. Letter B, text that tells a story to entertain the audience or readers. Objectives of this class: to learn what pronunciation is, to identify the types of intonations. Pronunciation is the way in which a word or a language is spoken. This may refer to generally agreed upon sequences of sounds used in speaking a given word or language in a specific dialect, correct pronunciation, or simply the way a particular individual speaks a word or language. Pronunciación es la forma en la que se dice una palabra o se habla un idioma. Esto puede referirse a secuencias de sonidos generalmente acordadas que se usan al decir una palabra o hablar un idioma determinado en un dialecto específico. Pronunciación correcta, o simplemente la forma en la que un individuo en particular dice una palabra o habla un idioma. Intonation. Intonation is about how we say things rather than what we say. The way the voice rises and falls when speaking, in other words, the music of the language. La entonación tiene que ver con cómo decimos las cosas más que con lo que decimos, la forma en la que la voz sube y baja al hablar, es decir, la música del idioma. Just as words have stressed syllables, sentences have regular patterns of stressed words. In addition, the voice tends to rise, fall, or remain flat depending on the meaning or feeling we want to convey: surprise, anger, interest, boredom, gratitude, etc. Intonation, therefore, indicates the mood of the speaker. Así como las palabras tienen sílabas acentuadas, las oraciones tienen patrones regulares de palabras acentuadas. Además, la voz tiende a subir, bajar o quedarse plana según el significado o sentimiento que queramos transmitir: sorpresa, enfado, interés, aburrimiento, gratitud, etc. Por tanto, la entonación indica el estado de ánimo del hablante. Intonation main patterns. The four main patterns of intonation in English are falling intonation, rising intonation, fall-rise intonation, rise-fall intonation. 4 patrones principales de entonación en inglés son entonación descendente, entonación ascendente, entonación de caída-subida, entonación subida-bajada. Intonation patterns. Falling intonation. The pitch of the voice falls at the end of the sentence. Falling intonation is the most common intonation pattern in English. Entonación descendente. El tono de la voz cae al final de la oración. La entonación descendente es el patrón de entonación más común en inglés. Falling intonation. It is commonly found in statements, commands, WH question, information questions, tag questions for confirmation, and exclamations. Se encuentra comúnmente en declaraciones, comandos, preguntas con WH, preguntas de información, etiquetas de interrogación y exclamación. Statements examples. Nice to meet you. Repeat with me. Nice to meet you. In you, there is a falling intonation. The next one. I'll be back in a minute. Repeat with me. I'll be back in a minute. In minute, there is a falling intonation. She doesn't live here anymore. Repeat with me. She doesn't live here anymore. In anymore, there is a falling intonation. Good job. Commands examples. Write your name here. Repeat with me. Write your name here. In here, there is a falling intonation. Next, show me what you've written. Show me what you've written. In written, there is a falling intonation. Next one, leave it on the desk. Leave it on the desk. In desk, there is a falling intonation. WH question examples. Requesting information. What country do you come from? Repeat with me. What country do you come from? In from, there is a falling intonation. Next, where do you work? Where do you work? In work, there is a falling intonation. Which of them do you prefer? Which of them do you prefer? In prefer, there is a falling intonation. Tag questions that are statements requesting confirmation rather than questions. Not all tag questions are really questions. Some of them merely ask for confirmation or invite agreement, in which case we use a falling tone at the end. Preguntas etiquetas, que son declaraciones que solicitan confirmación en lugar de preguntas. No todas las preguntas de etiqueta son realmente preguntas. Algunos de ellos simplemente piden confirmación o invitan a un acuerdo, en cuyo caso usamos un tono descendente al final. Examples. He thinks he's so clever, doesn't he? Repeat with me. He thinks he's so clever, doesn't he? So, in he, there is a falling intonation. Next sentence. She's such a nonsense, isn't she? Repeat with me. She's such a nonsense, isn't she? In she, there is a falling intonation. Good job. Now, exclamation examples. How nice of you. Repeat with me. How nice of you. In you, there is a falling intonation. That's just what I need. That's just what I need. In need, there is a falling intonation. You don't say. You don't say. In say, there is a falling intonation. Rising intonation. Rising intonation. The pitch of the voice rises at the end of a sentence. Rising intonation invites the speaker to continue talking. It is normally used with yes, no questions and tag questions that are real questions. Entonación ascendente. El tono de la voz se eleva al final de una oración. La entonación ascendente invita al hablante a seguir hablando. Normalmente se usa con preguntas de sí o no y etiquetas de preguntas que son preguntas reales. Yes, no questions. Questions that can be answered by yes or no. Examples. Do you like your new teacher? Have you finished already? May I borrow your dictionary? Repeat them with me. Do you like your new teacher? In teacher, there is a rising intonation. Have you finished already? In already, there is a rising intonation. May I borrow your dictionary? In dictionary, there is a rising intonation. Rising intonation. Tag questions that show uncertainty and require an answer. Real questions. Examples. We've met already, haven't we? You like fish, don't you? You're a new student, aren't you? Repeat with me. We've met already, haven't we? In haven't we have a rising intonation. Next sentence. You like fish, don't you? Don't you we have a rising intonation. You're a new student, aren't you? In aren't you, we have a rising intonation. Good job. Fall rise intonation. Fall rise intonation. The main function of fall rise intonation is to show that the speaker is not certain of the answers they are giving to a question or is reluctant to reply, as opposed to a falling tone used when there is no hesitation. It is also used in polite requests or suggestions. Entonación caída subida. La función principal de la entonación descendente-ascendente es mostrar que el hablante no está seguro de la respuesta que está dando o es renuente a responder, a diferencia de un tono descendente que se usa cuando no hay vacilación. También se utiliza en solicitudes o sugerencias de cortesía. The voice falls and rises usually within one word. Example: hesitation, reluctance. So, you'll be willing to confirm that? Well, I suppose so. Now, repeat with me. So, you'll be willing to confirm that? Well, so in suppose, there is a fall rise. In sup, a fall. Pose, a rise. Politeness, doubt, uncertainty. You are not sure what the answer might be. Examples: perhaps we could visit the place. Repeat with me. Perhaps we could visit the place. So, in visit, we have a fall rise. Vis is a fall. It is a rise. Rise-fall intonation. The intonation rises and then falls. We use rise-fall intonation for choices, lists, unfinished thoughts, and conditional sentences. Usamos la entonación ascendente-descendente para elecciones, listas, pensamientos inconclusos y oraciones condicionales. Choices, alternative questions. Example: are you having soup or salad? Now, repeat with me. Are you having soup or salad? So we have a rise in soup and it falls in salad. The next one, list. Rising, 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 falling. Intonation falls on the last item to show that the list is finished. We've got apples, pears, bananas, and oranges. So, repeat with me. We've got apples, pears, bananas, and oranges. So you can see in apples, pears, bananas, it rises. And in oranges, it comes down, it falls. Good job. Unfinished thoughts, partial statements. In the responses to the following question, the rise-fall intonation indicates reservation. The speaker hesitates to fully express his/her thoughts. Example: do you like my new handbag? Well, the leather is nice, but I don't like it. Repeat with me. Do you like my new handbag? Well, the leather is nice, but I don't like it. So you can see it rises in leather and it falls in nice. Good job, guys. Conditional sentences. The tone rises in the first clause and falls gradually in the second clause. Example: if he calls, ask him to leave a message. Listen to it again. If he calls, ask him to leave a message. Repeat with me. If he calls, ask him to leave a message. Good job. Now let's practice. Listen to the sentence first and write in your notebook the type of intonation it is. I'm going for a walk in the park. I'm going for a walk in the park. Now repeat with me. I'm going for a walk in the park. What type of intonation is it? Follow falling intonation. And where do we have the following intonation in the sentence? In park. I'm going for a walk in the park. Good job. Next, does he speak German or French? Does he speak German or French? Repeat with me. Does he speak German or French? So, what type of intonation is it? Rise-fall intonation. And where do we have rise-fall intonation in the sentence? In German, we have a rise and it falls in French. Good job. Now repeat it with me one more time. Does he speak German or French? Good job. Next sentence. Do you have any magazines? Do you have any magazines? What type of intonation is it? Rising intonation. Good job. And where do we have rising intonation? In magazines. Good. Do you have any magazines? Do you have any magazines? Good job, guys. Next one. Do you think it's allowed? Do you think it's allowed? What type of intonation is it? Fall-rise intonation. Good job. And where do we have fall-rise intonation in the sentence? In allowed. Do you think it's allowed? Good job, guys. It's homework time. In your notebook, match the sentence to the correct answer. Number 1, should we copy the list? Number 2, do you sell stamps? Is your name Ava or Eva? Number 4, put your books on the table. I'm going to repeat the sentences again. Should we copy the list? Do you sell stamps? Is your name Ava or Eva? Put your books on the table. Well, guys, this was it. Remember, let's stay home, let's stay safe. Wash your hands. See you next time. Bye.